Hello everybody. This is the second video, the one I was telling you about. This is a massive haul of cars, a couple of which are to a previous video the other week where I started collecting the NASCAR Car of Tomorrows, and I got a couple more of those. There's the number 5. Casey Mears, I believe, was the driver at the time. And then these, I remember I was telling you I got a body, but I didn't have a chassis. So I found somebody selling both of the Petty cars. That's the one Bobby Labonte drove, and that's the one that Kyle drove. These are the only Carrera COTs that I have, so they'll go nicely with the rest of the cars. Let's see how well they run against the Scalextrics. All right, now the next group is a new class of cars that I hadn't been collecting yet. Oh wait, I got one more COT in here. I forgot. This is Joey Logano. That's his rookie year. The yellow rookie stripes on the back. So there's another COT. So now we'll get back to the new class of cars. All right, so this class is also NASCAR, but this is the generation before the COTs. I still had Pontiacs racing before the big implosion 2009 2010. I think Pontiac had pulled out before that in NASCAR. Not sure when the last season was that they actually ran. I had to look it up. These cars probably range anywhere from the 1998 season all the way through the 2007 season. I'd have to go through car by car and see which ones. It's going to depend on the driver and the sponsor to find out what exact season these belong to. Some of them will say and some of them don't. Here's a Jeff Burton Exide Taurus. This is the white hood Lightning car. There's also a pink hood car. The Bobby Labonte car, also the Pontiac, Joe Gibbs. Before he went to Toyota. Well, he went to Chevrolet and then he went to Toyota after that. Here's the Kenny Schrader Pontiac, the 36 M&M's car. Here's the 97 Chad Little John Deere Taurus. Here's a Bill Elliott 94. This is after he formed his own team. And here is almost the identical liveried car. This is the 96 of Andy Houston. I didn't even remember this car. But there it is. Here's Kurt Busch. This is another one of the Tauruses. This is the after the refresh. You can tell by the taillights. Goes on the first variation of this Taurus body. Everything was oval, taillights, everything. They went a little overboard on the oval. And here is Jeff Gordon, Monte Carlo. Outer cover a little beat up. There's the 21 of Elliott Sadler. Looks like the photo etched grill fell out of this thing. And funny, the price tag on this thing says 26 pounds. This one came out of Britain, so this one was in pounds. This was 25.99 pounds. Here's a loose one. That's a Juan Pablo Dodge. It's one of the few Dodges I have. I don't know why they didn't make a lot of the Dodges, but this one here is the Haviland. This is the two-tone. There's also an all-black Haviland that he has out. Okay, here's one of these funky damn cases. The hell is that? This thing feels stuck. Jesus Christ. Some of these cases are ridiculous. Jesus. They damn near they're taped. That's why I couldn't see the tape. All right. So there's the Kevin Harvick Reese's car, the Monte Carlo. When they started driving, when we went to the 29. That's an SCX. Case is a little bit beat. The car looks okay, but the case is crushed. It's a good thing I don't worry about the cases at all. There's a DeWalt 17 of Matt Kenseth. This thing's in absolute tatters. There's where the pieces up before the dog finds them. He's good at that. And this is an AJ Foyt and his son were running a NASCAR Cup car. They had the number 14 Pontiac. I believe that was Ron Hornaday drove this, if I'm remembering right. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. But another Pontiac. Good to have some variety in the brands. Back when NASCAR had 4 brands. Rumor is they may have 4 brands again if Dodge pulls the trigger and decides to come back. I guess we'll see about that. Let's save this until last. Alright. Here's Jimmy Johnson, as I like to call him, Captain Vanilla. Very plain, non-flashy driver. Just came in and got the job done. Won a lot of races, won championships. You know, everybody can argue about the format that he won them under. That's fine. He raced by the rules that were given. I guess that's all you can say about it. I didn't like it either, but hey, he won by the same rules everybody else had to follow as well. So he played the game better than anybody else, I guess. And here's the Richard Petty Motorsports Pontiac of John Andretti. I realized I had so many Pontiacs. I'm actually happy about that. Nice having a variety of cars. So I hope Carrera wakes up and does more than just the Camaros and the new next gen cars. And here is the 32 Taurus of Ricky Craven. Good looking car. Tide sponsorship was always a good looking car. Even when back when Darrell drove it. Always one of my favorite looking ones that come out. Alrighty. And this is also this is Johnny Benson. First one I brought out was a Johnny Benson. This is a different version of the number 10. This is when they picked up the Valvoline sponsorship from Roush when it left Mark Martin. I think that was when they picked up sponsorship from Pfizer. All right. Next up is a couple of number 12s. First one up is going to be the number 12 Alltel from Ryan Newman. Okay. This says this was 2002. So, and that was 2001. Look at the back of all the boxes. I didn't even realize it was on there. Okay, here's the next number, 12. This one's going to be 2001. And this is Jeremy Mayfield, Mobil 1. Almost dumped that case. Be a nice grid of cars when I finally get it all said and done. Shit, I wasn't smart. Okay, 1999, and that is when Mark Martin still had the Valvoline sponsorship for Roush. So there we go. And you can see what I was meaning by, see the headlights and the parking lamps on that, where they're actual oval, where the next, the refresh of this body style, they have more angular features. This is 2001, and this is when Mark sponsorship went over to Pfizer. That was, I believe, for the Viagra pills. Should have been a good tie-in when they were running the Viagra sponsorship to have Trojan condoms with them. And maybe KY jelly. Alright. Now, there's another one of these fantastic, well, that one popped it right out. There's a Dodge. Casey Kane. It's another SCX. So it looks like SCX did the Dodge bodies, and Scalextric stuck with the Ford. Now this says copyright on the bottom. This is 2007. So this paint scheme was probably 2006 or something along those lines, maybe earlier. I'm not actually sure. Okay. And 2001. And this is a Rusty Wallace car. And it has Rusty decals on it. This is where I'm going to go into a mini rant. As a freaking adult, I don't feel that I shouldn't be able to buy any model, whether it's a die-cast, a slot car, a plastic scale model, that doesn't have the proper sponsorship, whether it comes from a tobacco company or a alcohol company. It's ridiculous to me. That is up to the parents. You didn't pull it off the cars then, so it was okay for kids or anyone else to see it on the television set or at the track if they were lucky enough to go to the actual race. But I can't buy a model and have the proper decals on it. I mean, it's bullshit. I dealt with that when I collected all the NASCAR diecast. If I wanted to buy one with the authentic sponsorship on it, I had to pay a premium to get them, and I had to order them through special circumstances to get them. Anything you found in a regular chain store was going to be like this. That's coarse shit. Been a lifelong NASCAR fan. I'm 62 going on 63 years old. I've never smoked. I've never drank. So obviously that didn't work. And I don't know one person I've ever met that said they picked up smoking or drinking because they saw it on a fucking race car. Excuse my language, but it's stupid. It was the most asinine thing I've ever seen. It was like, if you don't want your kid to have it, then don't buy it for them. Be a parent. That's the worst part. Parents need to be parents again. Okay, and here, I'm not sure exactly what this car was. I don't know what series was it. I don't believe it was the Cup series. And I don't even think it was the Xfinity. Well, would have been Busch then. I'm not exactly sure if this is a fantasy scheme, because I saw a red, white, and blue one as well. But this actually does have a driver's name on it, and maybe that's I don't know if it's fictitious or not, but it's a Ben Collins. But anyway, I thought, well, why the hell not? One more car, not going to hurt anything. All right, now this is the one that I saved for last. So, I'm sure people are already picking up on that logo. And there it is. This is the Dale Earnhardt Monte Carlo. This is an SCX. This is number 2817 from, I'm not sure how many issues, how many models were made. Hard to know. It doesn't say how many were actually made. It's just the issue number. So this could be, there could have been 10,000 of these made, 999, 9,999. Who the hell knows? But this is number 2817, and it's really nicely detailed. That's one of the things I have to say with slot cars since I got back into the hobby, is of how detailed they are. And these are all older cars. I mean, these are, Christ, most of these are all 20 years old or more now. So the fact that, oh, they got that upside down. Oh, I must have it upside down. Let's go like this. There we go. I'll get it right. Don't worry. Slow study. There we go. So that's that haul. So yeah, it's quite a big haul of cars. Now, this is going to come to my second rant, and if anybody stuck around this long, hopefully you guys can respond and let me know if you have dealt with this as well. I don't know what in the hell is going on with the UPS, or not UPS, but USPS, excuse me, United States Postal Service. But their service so far this year has been absolutely horrendous. And I want to give you an example of it. Okay. Now, I ordered a car from Great Britain, and I ordered it on, I believe it was the 18th of February. Yeah, the 18th of February. And it got picked up on the 24th. Now, this isn't USPS, mind you, or US. This is UPS, not USPS. So this is UPS International. They picked it up in Manchester on the 24th. I guess the seller didn't have it ready to ship immediately after I bought the car. I actually made the purchase on the 18th. It didn't ship they didn't pick it up for almost a week. In any case. So they picked it up, and it cleared the agency waiting for final release. Duties and taxes were due on the package, which were paid. Import COD charges were paid. And it arrived in the Manchester facility on the 24th. It also departed Manchester on the 24th. It arrived at Castle Donington on the 24th. Export scan was done at Donington on the 24th. The package cleared customs and was on its way to the U.S. It arrived in Philadelphia on the 25th. Now, it left Donington at 4:10 a.m. It arrived in Philadelphia 3 hours later. 3 hours later. And then the import scan went through, and then it was shipped on to me. Now, and this is where I really start to lose my freaking cool with these guys. I believe it was 3 cars that I bought from a seller in Wisconsin, and a lot of these cars came from that same seller. And here's the transition of how this went. Okay, shipping rate label was created on the 18th. USPS is in possession of the item in Galesburg, Wisconsin on the 18th. Estimated delivery date is to be the 23rd of February. Departs to Galesville, Wisconsin post office. 2 o'clock on the 18th. It arrives at 8:20 a.m. in St. Paul, Minnesota. Departs at 8 p.m. from St. Paul. Listed on February 20th as in transit arriving on time at 3 a.m. And then same on the 20th, in transit arriving on time, 9:08. And then again on the 20th at 6:43 p.m. as in transit to the next facility. It arrived on Philadelphia, and this is, I think, where the issue is coming from. I think it's one of the Philadelphia distribution centers. It arrived at the U.S. regional facility at 9:14 a.m. on the 20th. Then it says on the 21st, in transit, next facility arriving on time. Okay. Then it says February 22nd, processed through USPS facility, Philadelphia distribution, 19116. Well, guess what? That was the same one it left from. So it arrived Friday, February 20th at 9:14 at 19116 Philadelphia. And then it was finally, but it says in transit, the whole day of the 21st, it says it's in transit. Okay, in transit to where? Oh, in transit back to processed through USPS facility, Philadelphia, 19116. All right, that's Sunday. Then it says in transit to the next facility, the 23rd. Now, remind you, 23rd was the day it was supposed to get to me. And it says, oh, 24th. Oh, well, now mind you, and there was a snowstorm, fairly substantial snowstorm here on the 23rd. I'll give them a break. All right, but here we go. The 24th, 12 a.m. Okay, so that's basically the 23rd at midnight. In transit next facility, you're arriving late. Wednesday, the 25th. Processed through USPS facility, Philadelphia, 19116. So wait, it processed again? Now what the hell is going on? All right. So now on the 25th at 9:24 a.m., it departs. no, 19116. Arrived USPS Regional Facility, Philadelphia, PA Distribution Center, 19176. Processed through USPS Facility, 19176 on the 25th at 3:47. Departs Philadelphia Distribution, 19176 at 5 o'clock. Then it arrives at the Southeastern PA Post Office. And then finally gets delivered to me hours after this came from Britain. So both of these left at about approximately the same time. One coming from Wisconsin, one coming from England. And the one from England gets to me first. Now, let me preface this with, this isn't the first time that USPS has done this. On these orders, these cars here, on 2 separate orders, I've had cars come into the Philadelphia Postal Service facility. And then, now mind you, I'm 25 miles west of Philadelphia. That's an hour's drive, okay? Twice they've shipped it from Philadelphia to Akron, Ohio, then to Cleveland, Ohio, and then back to that same Philadelphia distribution center. And then finally goes to Southeastern, and then maybe to my local post office, and then finally on to me. And I've gone through with the Postal Service numerous times about what in the hell is going on. I mean, I don't know who or what they're using for logistics, but they're crying they're out of money. They're crying they're broke. They're this, they're that. Well, no goddamn wonder you're broke. You're shipping packages all over the country. You're losing sales. Oh, and now, I don't know if many people know this, but guess what? You send a letter out. Oh, no. They don't postmark it when you send it and they take it to the post office. They postmark it when they decide to send it out and deliver it. So in other words, you could have, say you have a check you got to send out, rent check, credit card, whatever. You send the thing out on the 1st. It's due on the 14th. It sits in the post office to the 15th. They postmark it on the 15th and then send it on. Now it looks like you're late, that you defaulted on your responsibilities. This is bullshit. They need to stop and they need to fix this crap now. It costs you over 75 cents to mail a goddamn letter and you can't even get decent delivery. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on with this place. I feel sorry for the letter carriers because I know it's not their fault. But somebody in upper management, they just need to gut the whole goddamn thing. I'm sorry. They don't know what the hell they're doing or they don't give a shit. One or the other. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I said I hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully we're going to break from this damn snow. We've had a couple snowstorms here in southeast PA. I know some other areas got hammered. Some a hell of a lot worse than we did. I know New England got thumped with this last storm. We got about 8 inches. They got 36, so I can't bitch and complain. It's already melted and gone. So it wasn't too bad for us. Hopefully they're clearing out. 3 feet of snow is way too damn much to deal with. But I hope you all are doing well for wherever you are. And hopefully spring will be here soon and we can get on to some decent weather. Keep collecting. Keep enjoying the hobby as much as you can. Just a quick note, I saw on Slot Car News yesterday that Scalextrics has been sold. Hornby has sold Scalextrics to a U.S. investment firm, I think they called it. Back in the day, they used to call it a corporate raider. I'm sorry. I mean, it's what it is. I lived through a hostile takeover with a company I was with. And for those that have never gone through that or know how that works, now this was a straight up purchase, so it's a little bit different from what I understand, but you got to wonder the motivations behind the purchase, because I can't see an investment firm buying into a slot car company as a big time investment. I hope that be the case. but I'm a little on the doubtful side of that. But anyway, what happens in these instances are the company comes in, they buy up other companies, they go through the portfolio of the companies they bought, and they start going through them to what they want to keep, what they want to get rid of, and what they just want to close off and sell out for parts. Basically how it works. If you're making money, they'll keep you. If you're barely making money, they might sell you. If you're not making money, they're going to shut your ass down. They're going to strip everything out of a fucking company, and they're going to just sell everything off and make money back that way. It's like stripping a car for parts. People buy cars all the time, and anybody that knows, and if you're in this hobby, you probably do know with cars, because you're obviously an auto enthusiast, that you make more money from the parts than you do from the actual car. So that's what they do. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. It's going to be interesting as far as what they're going to do with the offerings, because Scalextric does put out a lot of different cars a year. Whether or not that's going to pare down, what cars are they going to put out, because they were a British company which was catering more towards European tastes. They did do some US stuff, but I mean, a lot of it was kind of, not shit that Americans would generally gravitate to. I mean, Renaults and Peugeots and cars like that really aren't in American tastes, but they produced those cars and they sold those cars to Europeans. Now, is that going to continue, or are they going to cater, now that they're American owned, are they going to cater more towards American taste? And if they do that, are they going to alienate their European buyers that bought the cars and made the brand successful? If they do that, and those people say, screw it, I don't want American cars, I don't like American cars, and I'm not going to buy them. And then the company goes downhill, and they say, oh shit, we're losing money. Let's go unload this, just close it down, strip it for parts, and sell it off to somebody else that maybe wants either the whole brand or just parts of the brand. Somebody may buy it just for the molds. Who the hell knows? I mean, that goes on all the time with these companies. Other companies buy out other companies that are going under, and they use their molds and then keep producing cars under their own brand names. So we'll have to see what happens. It's really going to be interesting to see what happens, because I mean, Scalextric as a brand with Hornby has been around for what, 75 years almost. It's got to be at least since the 50s. So 50s, early 60s at the very least. I'd have to look it up. But we'll see. But anyway, guys, have a good one. That's it for this video. I know it's been long. Hopefully you stayed to the end. Like I said, if you have a comment, if you guys have gone through anything with, like I've dealt with the U.S. Postal, let me know, or any of the other shipping companies. I know FedEx isn't a whole lot better. They've screwed the pooch on deliveries for me as well. UPS is a little bit better. They're usually pretty dependable, but the whole thing is just gone crazy. But anyway, have a good one, people. See ya.